Well, hello, y'all. It is time to breathe again on the latest BOFA Sports webcast, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I am Charles Taylor. I got Patrick Brackett with me. And y'all know how we normally do the show. We'll start things with normal review and preview of college football and the NFL. There's a couple of other topics that we're going to cover tonight as well. The World Series in baseball and MLB that will be starting on Friday, and the NBA is back. But to lead into the college football portion, let's pull up this graphic because
pull it up, dude. Pull it up. Yes, sir. Look at that undefeated.
So what we have, you hear Patrick saying that he was undefeated because he was 6-0 throughout that week. I came in at 4-2. The two games that Patrick got that put him over the top. Of course, we'll talk about the Georgia-Texas game in a little bit, but also the Michigan-Illinois game. With Illinois, I picked Michigan, and he got it wrong. I got it wrong. We didn't get any exact scores. We didn't get any exact scores for this week either, so we're both still on 0 there. But the perfect week Patrick had puts him up by 2 games overall for the week. So he is sitting there at 23-13, and I'm at 21-15. But still a lot of season left to make up that deficit. But good on you, Patrick, for the perfect 6-0 week. And just a little bit of back chat information. So as we're sitting here at the end of the Georgia-Texas game, of course, I sent them a text to say, man, hey, good game. Y'all kicked our asses, because that's exactly what happened. And then, of course, Patrick's going to text like, yeah, man, thanks, man. But more importantly, was I 6-0 this week? And I couldn't say anything. I just said, yes, you are.
Yes, sir. 6-0. Dude, you know, it was funny. I was thinking about it, and I guess I got to go back and do my research about it. But, dude, we were much later in the season before somebody went perfect last year. Much later in the season. Which is weird because, like, with the NIL and all that stuff, like really like taking effect this year and making these teams that weren't good in the previous years, they're all of a sudden now really good. It's really hard to pick these games, man, because there's so many of them that we're just like, I don't know.
And both of us have been close. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know I came close to hitting, I think it was Pittsburgh and UNC one week where I was a field goal off. Mm-hmm. And I think you were pretty close on
last week.
Yeah, you were pretty close last week. I forget the game. As a matter of fact, I think the Texas-Oklahoma game, you picked Texas' score right. Oklahoma didn't get 20. Or Oklahoma didn't get up. Well, they barely got 3.
They didn't get any. I got Texas right, but I didn't get Oklahoma right. I thought they would at least put something up, but dude, those boys can't get right, so I'll pick them to score 0 moving forward.
Moving forward
because they're horrible.
So, but there you have it. So yes, that is Patrick's perfect week. So I said let's give props where props is due, and let's not mistake. So there you go, Patrick. Perfect week. And
perfect week.
You're up 2 in the overall standings. So with that being said, of course, we're going to talk about the Georgia-Texas game. Was there anything else that caught your eye besides that game?
So there was like 3 games that really hit that I was just like, man, that was a really good game. The Miami-Louisville game, man, Louisville came out firing, dude. They were clicking on everything. It's just, man, too much Cam Ward, dude. He just found ways to win. And then that defense got that big turnover in the fourth quarter, or that big stop, one of the two, because they were going touchdown for touchdown there for a while. But that was a good game. It was very interesting. I was flipping back and forth during another game. Can't remember.
Was it Auburn in Missouri?
Yeah, Auburn and Missouri. Because I was going to say, man, that was a good game. Dude, Auburn was playing very well for 3 quarters. They just can't finish, man. That 4th quarter kicked them right in the mouth, dude. And it's just like, well, they can't finish because, dude, they really don't have any depth at all. I mean, none. Those boys, they were saying something like a linebacker played like something in the vicinity of like 60 or 70 snaps. I was like, what? How do you have a linebacker playing that many? Then I was like, oh yeah, because their depth chart has 3 linebackers. I was like, go get somebody, dude. But I mean, I think Alabama. I think Auburn is going to be. I think Auburn will be okay, because I think this is their 4th year on the head coach. Second. Okay, so I mean, we always say give them 3 years, let them start getting their recruits in. I mean, he's still dealing with a lot of other recruits, so I would be expecting a lot of big things from Auburn come next year, and I don't think that anybody should be on a hot seat in Auburn. You know, they're playing well. They just, like you said, they just can't finish, and you know that's a lot of times that's a personnel issue. It's what it is. It's a personnel issue. So give Auburn a couple more years, man. Like, look, if he can't get anybody to, if he can't get a winning season in the next 2 years, cut him then. But I think Auburn should be good. I mean, they're fighting. They're starting to fight, which was not the case at the beginning of the year. So, but that was a good game. They held with them for 3 quarters. I mean, they're from a little bit. I even think Auburn went into the half with the lead.
They had the 4th quarter in the lead, and they were up 17-6.
In the 4th quarter, that's right. Yeah. And then just 4th quarter happens. Unfortunately, you got to play 4 quarters in football. So, and then there was one more game. I'm not going to really pick on like the Michigan and Illinois game because, well, I mean, I guess we could. The game that I thought was really good was the which one was it? There was another game. I can't find it. The Oregon Purdue. We were questioning, can Oregon, how well are they going to play with this success that they've been having? And I know it was Purdue, and they came out. I mean, phenomenal, dude. I think that was the best I think I've ever seen Oregon play. And I mean, they were penalty free almost. I mean, I don't even think Oregon got a penalty until almost the 3rd quarter. I mean, they just played beautiful football. So there was my 3 games that I picked. I mean, I know we're going to talk about the Michigan, Illinois, and I know we're going to talk about the Georgia, Texas, but those are the 3 minus those 2 games. Those are the 3, man. I wanted to see what Oregon could do, and wow, they're phenomenal, dude. They are phenomenal.
And now Oregon is the number 1 team in the nation of this week's events or last week's events. Real quick for me, man. Let's start with East Carolina and Army. I mean, we had talked about that game, and you have both of the academies still with Army and Navy. They're still both undefeated. The offense for Army is rolling in a 45-28 win over
the quarterback, dude. Yeah. He's nasty.
Very much so. And then I think, a couple of SEC contests. Alabama and Tennessee. It was a game that went down to the wire. Pretty tough sledding for both offenses. Picked up a little bit. But Tennessee was able to pull that out, and they won 24-17. And LSU handled Arkansas in Fayetteville, 34-10.
Yeah.
LSU, I know we were talking about that game, and we felt with it being a rivalry game, the battle for the Golden Boot. Those games are normally tight, but LSU they're looking strong. And I got to give it to Brian Kelly it looks like with this, like you said, third year in now, looks like he's finding his footing. Now, of course, there's a lot of ball to be played, a lot of very crucial matchups coming up as we go into the last week. Yeah,
which will be one of our games. Spoiler
alert. But LSU looks pretty strong. So
yeah, they do.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to talk a little bit about Michigan, Illinois, I don't really have much for Michigan and Illinois except Illinois looks like they're coming together at the right time. They got a big contest coming up next week too at Oregon. Yeah. But they look like they're coming together at the right time. In Michigan, they have a offense problem. Serious offense problem. They can't finish drives, and if they can't run the ball, then they're not moving the ball.
And they can't stop anybody either.
Yeah, they're really sloppy, man. I know they lost a lot of players, but
they shouldn't have been this sloppy.
Sloppy.
I mean, this is almost unbearable to watch. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, with the way Michigan is playing, it's not making that Texas win on the road look very strong. It's really not, So I don't know. I know they lost, like you said, I know they lost a lot of players, but I don't see how you can lose that and not restock. You know what I mean? And I get it. It's his first year. I get that. But he has worked under Jim Harbaugh for what, 4 or 5 years? I can't even think of the coach's name right now. But he's worked under
more or something like that, I believe.
Yeah. He's worked with Jim Harbaugh, and he knows how to recruit. He's worked with Harbaugh enough to know. And I'm sure he has Harbaugh on speed dial. Come on. You gotta have recruits, and these guys are sloppy. I mean, just heavily penaltied. Can't run the ball, can't pass the ball, can't stop anybody. Special teams blunders here and there. I expected a lot more from Michigan. I can't believe it would fall off this fast for them.
Yeah, this is a free fall for sure. And with the Georgia-Texas game, so Patrick, look, I don't have too much to add on that. If you caught my shorty yesterday, we didn't. On that shorty, I wasn't talking as much about the X's and O's and what happened on the field, or at least play-wise. As much as
more of the atrocity that is happening from the fan base. So if y'all haven't seen it, go and watch it, and you'll know what Charles was talking about. We're not going to go like crazy deep into it. I got to get my opinion out, but that'll be about it.
Yeah, and so once you see that, I mean, if you are able to catch it, cool. Of course, I encourage y'all to go watch it. But just for a little bit of a breakdown, I was just talking about how the fans in Austin acted after a pass interference call. Pretty terrible stuff coming from us, because I'm a Longhorn fan, and that was shameful. You can't throw stuff on the field. No matter how upset you are, you can't throw beer bottles, you cannot throw beer cans, you can't throw food, you can't throw anything. Let's see, we got a comment on here. Colorado football, what do I make about the Buffs? The Buffaloes are coming. We'll say that. I think if Dion is able to stay, or Coach Prime is able to stay for a year or another year, maybe 2 years, depending on what coaching opportunities come out for him, I think Colorado can make some plays to win the Big 12. I don't know if they're there yet. They already have 2 losses, and there's a lot of teams in front of them. But I do think the what you call it, Patrick, stock. The stock is up on Colorado. I think they're improving, and if there's more depth that comes in, depending on whether or not they use the transfer portal more, they get some recruiting classes. I think Colorado's on their way. What you got any views on Colorado?
Oh yeah. So here's the thing. Like, look, being a Falcons fan, I have grown up with the egos that Coach Prime and Prime Time has came with. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, it doesn't look like prime time is getting all the time. And this is one of the things that me and Charles had talked about, preseason is can Coach Sanders, let's put it this way, can he be the coach, or is this going to all be about prime time? In a lot of ways, he's making it about the boys. He's making it about the football team. This is not Deion Sanders and the Buffs. This is Colorado, and the coach is Deion Sanders. With that being said, I don't think they're going to win the Big 12 this year, but look out next year, because once he gets himself into a situation that allows him to get the recruits, hit the transfer portal the way he wants to hit it, man, and he brings a lot of stock just on himself. So he's going to make a lot of stock just on himself, and he's going to utilize that to make Colorado a better team. I say Big 12 better look out for him next year, because he's going to have the depth, he's going to have the players, and he is a good coach. Like I said, as long as primetime stays out of the way, and this is not about him, and it's about winning, Colorado will make a huge statement come next year.
And it's really gonna come down to the coaching. When you think about those two players they do have, of course, his son, the quarterback Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter, the all-purpose dude, everything dude, they're gonna go pro. Yeah. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how Deion navigates that, what he does in the transfer portal, what he brings back as a quarterback. But yeah, most likely those dudes are going pro. I don't see them coming back, but I won't shut it out because of what you said with NIL and because of what's going on in college sports today. If they can get paid a good amount, there's definitely more of a chance that they will stay. And I think for the simple fact they did follow Coach Prime over to Colorado from Jackson State, I don't think it's out of the question that they would come back, although their stock would be high for the NFL draft. The options are very plentiful for those two players.
And you have to also understand, by all rights, they could be undefeated right now. They played a hell of a game against Kansas State when they lost only by 3. And be honest,
they did get whooped against Nebraska.
They did get whooped by Nebraska, but you know what? They were working a lot of things out, and all those mistakes that they made against Nebraska, they haven't made again. Which ultimately led to them losing that game. But even in that interview, when Coach Prime comes out, he's like, "Yeah, we made a lot of mistakes during that Nebraska game, and they fixed it." And we even talked about it in one of the shows. We said they looked bad. If he gets those fixed, watch out. And he did. And then that Kansas State game, I mean, honestly, they could have won. And honestly, they probably should have. I mean, they had to lead at the half. So
yeah, lead for a quarter.
Yeah, that's right. So looking at it from top to bottom, by all rights, they probably should be 6-1. Giving the blunder that happened at Nebraska, that they just really kind of shot themselves in the foot. I mean, he did. Shedeur didn't play well. I think he had 2 interceptions in that game or something crazy like that. He just didn't play well, and then they fixed it. And then look at how well they played. I mean, pretty much lights out. I mean, minus that Kansas State game, they've been pretty much lights out on everybody.
All right. Well, hey, James, thanks for that question. Real quick, back to Georgia and Texas. Like I said, I don't have too much to say about it, except for, like, y'all saw my thoughts. Check out that shorty on how I felt about the behavior of the fans there in Austin and how deplorable and how garbage I thought it was. And then on the field, look, man, as a Texas fan, I can sit here and acknowledge we got a lesson. We're going to learn a lot from this, but y'all were at a level of physicality we weren't ready for. We just weren't. Quinn Ewers was not the same after he took that blast from the corner. And
on the third play?
Yeah, and he was done after that.
That corner sold it, though. Holy crap, he sold it.
Absolute strategic blitz. I mean, it was a pretty blitz. If it didn't happen against my team, I would have been praising how pretty it was. I'm still praising how pretty it was. I just hate that it was against my quarterback. But
Walker, dude, my God, dude, we've been waiting for that though. We've been waiting for that for 2 seasons, and because I would tell you, like, we need a rusher. We've been saying that we've been saying it for years, or for 2 years now. We need a pass rusher, and then all of a sudden, Walker just gonna go, okay, I'll be that guy.
Here I am.
I'll show. Okay, fine. You got me. You twisted my arm. I'll rush it. 6 sacks in the first half. My God, I was like, thank God our defense showed up, because sure as hell we ain't gonna rely on no damn Carson Beck and Mike Bobo.
God, y'all didn't throw a lot of bubble screens. Y'all actually ran the ball pretty effectively.
The reason why we didn't throw a bubble screen was because the idiot threw 3 interceptions. One of them, I think, was on a bubble screen, because it kicked off of the freaking. And Bobo was like, yeah, we're probably not going to run that again. God, dude, don't get me started on Carson Beck and Mike Bobo. You know how I feel about them. Here's my takes on it. Yes, y'all got a lesson. But here's the thing. This is what I say about it. Just because we've lost 3 games in the past 4 years to Alabama, and to Alabama, you know right there, it is a psyche thing with Georgia. All Georgia did in that game was remind you who we are. That's all they did. To me, look, Kirby Smart said it better than anybody. We're not here for the pictures. We're not here for anything. We're here to eat. That was it. That's what he said. And that's the short version of it. We literally was disrespected because we lost to Alabama. All we did was remind people, hey, well, we are still here, just to let you know. And to me, that's all it did. Now, with Texas, on the other hand, I do kind of feel at this point, Sarkisian is he's going back to the drawing board. I guarantee you right now, he's going back to the drawing board. Okay, we had our big wins against Oklahoma, which really was not the normal Oklahoma that y'all would normally want to see. And what was the other one? UCLA. Who was it? Michigan. Okay. No. Who was the offensive the team that really gave you put some points on y'all earlier in the season? UNLV?
Nah, nobody really put points on us like that. I mean, we gave up 13 to Mississippi State. Michigan scored 12 on us. Shut out Colorado State. UTSA didn't score a whole bunch on us. I mean, we didn't give up.
UTSA had the better offense than anybody that y'all played.
They scored like 7 or 10 points against us.
Either way the case may be. I can't remember who it is. The fact of the matter is that y'all haven't been tested. That was where I was getting at. Y'all have not been tested this season, even though you got your wins against the people y'all did. Y'all really haven't been tested. We got
that. No, absolutely.
We got tested in Tuscaloosa, so we were ready. And then all of a sudden, now ESPN want to go, there's a new sheriff in town. Oh yeah, okay. All we did was remind you. That's all we did. To me, we ain't won nothing. Now, don't get me wrong. Texas was a big win for us. We had to have that redemption from Tuscaloosa, but we ain't won nothing. Here's how champions think. It's a regular season game. We're 1-0. That's all we are. Move to the next week. We ain't won nothing until we won a national championship. That's the way they are thinking. And that's the way Texas is going to be thinking. This was just one of those things that said, okay, now we have been tested. Now we know what to expect. I fully expect Texas to finish off the season very, very strong. Because I have been singing their praises for 2 years. I mean, I'm telling you, this is not a bad team. I just think they got overwhelmed. That's all it was. So, and Texas made some really bad decisions through a few things. But neither one of those offenses looked good, Georgia or Texas. And the only thing that really dominated was our defense. That was it. So there's my X's and O's. As far as the piece where the pass interference thing, all right, first of all, bad call. Horrendous call. I mean, I was like, thank God they're fine. They call pass interference. And then I saw it and I was like, they don't get pass interference. There's no pass interference. There's nothing there. As a matter of fact, our wide receiver turned right and Carson Beck threw left. I mean, come on. Like, how do you call that? Right? Here's what my problem was. But that was a bad call. Let's start it. Then they called the interference. That's when all the trash comes out. All right. Look, Texas fans, and I know this is not everybody, we got to be better. We do got to be better. And this is just for all fans in general. Let's be better about it. You can't do this. It sets a precedence that if you throw trash on the field, now anybody can do it and get a call reversed. Now, here's the deal. Referees, y'all got to be better. Make the right call. I mean, obviously, that is not a hard call to see. We don't get to see it as fans on the TV. You're sitting right in front of it. So, first of all of this could be prevented if the referees would have done a job and done it correctly. That's what I'm saying. That's not a hard call to miss. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. And here's another thing. That's not a reviewable. So if it wasn't for all of that and given everything that happened, that would have been a pass interference call and Georgia would have been moved down the field and here we are. You know, it could have got worse, is what I'm saying. But it starts with the refs. It doesn't start with the fans. It ended with the fans, but it starts with the refs. The refs have got to get it together. This is happening throughout the entire league. It's like they're closing their eyes during these plays. That looks stupid. It really does. So the refs have got to do their job, and they got to do it better. That was not pass interference. It should have never been called pass interference. We should have never went into that, and we would have never saw bottles being thrown on the field. It starts with them. So, in my personal opinion, I would fine Texas $250,000. Actually, I'd probably fine them more for doing it. And then I would look at each one of those refs, and I would put them on an unpaid sabbatical for 6 months. Get it right. That's where it starts. Get it right so that we don't have these problems. There's my take on it.
I think so. On top of what you said, it wouldn't have been that much of a problem because we have seen officials get together if there is a flag thrown, and then they'll get together real quick. Mm-hmm. They get together real quick. They ask each other, "What did you see? What did you see over here? What did you see from that angle? Hey, I didn't see pass interference. I didn't see pass interference." They pick the flag up. So if they would have did it that way, then there wouldn't have been a problem there. This was clearly a choice or a case where, because of the delay from the fans throwing the trash, they decided, maybe it wasn't pass interference. So that is where I could understand Kirby Smart being really upset about that, because that's not how it never worked that way, to where fans would throw trash on the field and then all of a sudden, you know what? Yeah, we're going to change this call. Like, if that delay didn't happen, they would have moved on to the next play.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that gets me. So if that's going to be the case, then there has to be a clear, it got to be quicker than that too. Like what you've seen. It's got to be, all right, hold on. Let's get together. What's this pass interference? Nah, man, I didn't see pass interference. All right, pick the flag up. That delay. It was awful. It was awful how it came about. Like you said, bad call. And like looking at it live, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm glad they reversed the call, of course. But I wasn't happy with the way it came about.
Yeah,
So
you don't want. Nobody wants to win that way. I don't want to win that way.
Yeah.
I want to leave no doubt. I don't want to have an excuse. I don't need to talk to an Alabama fan and be like, yeah, man, you only won because of that. You know, God. No, I want all your players existing. I want all your players on the field or on the court. I want everything to go as even as possible. That way there's no doubt. When we whip that ass, there's no doubt. You can't say anything. And that's how I want to win. I don't want that. I don't want that. If it's not a pass interference call, I don't want it. Give it to Texas. Give them on the 8. Don't do that crap again. Play football. I don't want that. I don't need it as an excuse. Just play. So that's my take on it. But yeah, I would highly recommend everybody go and watch that shorty. It's a good one. It's a good one. It puts the narrative in perspective that, you know, even though it's our own teams. I mean, Charles is a Longhorn fan, even its own team, but he tells you, no, as fans, we can't do that. This is their first year in the SEC, and you can't act like crybabies like that. That's not how it works. Just because you don't get your way, and he says it perfect. So go and watch it. It was a good one.
Thanks, Patrick. And with that, man, let's get on. Let's spend a little bit of time on these next week's games. So, since you did get the perfect week, go ahead and go first.
Oh, like that.
Like that, man. Yes.
Okay. Let me see what we got
here, Patrick.
So, let's jump right into it. Illinois and Oregon.
Okay.
Let's just do it. Because I know if you don't pick it the next game, I know which one I'm going. Actually, I got 4 games that I can pick.
Yeah, I got to get them out too. This is a good week.
Illinois is clicking. They're playing really good football. They're 6-1. Unfortunately, they're going against Oregon, and they're playing in Duckville.
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough game for Illinois. Illinois is going to play them. I do feel like this game will be. I kind of feel like it's going to be a high-scoring game. I really do, because both of these offenses just click. So I'm gonna go Oregon, since they're playing in Duckville. I'm gonna go Oregon, and I'm gonna go. Oh God, I'm gonna go Oregon. 45-38.
45-38, huh? High score.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a high score.
I agree. I have Oregon winning the game too. I just think they have a little bit too much for Illinois. They are, like I said, Oregon is clicking on all cylinders. It's almost like winning over Ohio State. Just opened up,
boosted them.
Yeah,
I mean, like, oh my God, we're this good. Let's go.
Let's get it. Yeah, and so I think there will be a little bit more, not too much. So I mean, I'll go 41. I think they'll win by 10. 41-31 is what I'm doing.
They got a 21 and a half point favorite right now.
I know that
it's so disrespectful to a team like Illinois.
I think Illinois is going to play them tougher than that.
I do too.
So yeah, 41-31 is my final score. Let's see. You know what? Let's go here, Patrick. Let's go Notre Dame and Navy.
That was one of mine too. Okay.
So
I've been going back and forth on this one. I have been going back and forth.
So we've been, as you've heard, we've been giving props to the academies because the academies, well, Army and Navy specifically, have been playing very, very well, undefeated here. So here comes this test for Notre Dame. I think this is a neutral site game. I think they're playing this in
MetLife Stadium.
Yes, so East Rutherford, New Jersey, the Giants' home stadium, Giants and Jets' home stadium. And look, Navy is playing really good. I think Notre Dame is going to be a little bit too much for them. Here's the thing. Remember earlier in the season, Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. And since that loss, Notre Dame has come out really good, like aggressive, like not playing around. I think last week, going back to last week real quick, I thought Georgia Tech would give them some issues, and they handled Georgia
Tech. And Georgia Tech matched up very well with them.
Right. And I think Georgia Tech and Navy kind of have the same attack. Navy might actually run it a little bit better than Georgia Tech this year.
Oh, they run it 10 times better. This year anyway.
But I think Notre Dame has a little bit too much for Navy in this battle. So I'm going to go Notre Dame. It will be close though. I think Notre Dame wins 33-27.
Ooh, good score.
Yes. Because Navy's going to show up. Like, I mean, Navy ain't just going to just come in here laying down. But I think Notre Dame, because of that loss to Northern Illinois, their focus is high.
Yeah, I agree. So here's my take on it. Navy really hasn't played a hard team like this yet. I always question if if Navy and Army, if they got punched in the face, how well were they going to take it? And they haven't really been punched in the face yet. So I agree with you. I'm gonna go Notre Dame, but I honestly think Notre Dame beats them a little bit more than that. I'm gonna go 35-20.
Okay.
Because I think Notre Dame, like you said, since that Northern Illinois game, they have been playing with a chip on their shoulder, on both of them, and they have not given any doubt since then. So I'm gonna go Notre Dame 35-20.
All right, man. What's your next game?
God. How about I gotta do it. Texas and Vanderbilt. Texas and Vanderbilt. All right. Vanderbilt has been playing phenomenal. And here's the thing, is like I think Vanderbilt has been playing these teams and they're watching them. Like whatever they're doing, they keep doing it. They keep doing it. They're on a 3-game win streak, 4-game win streak, whatever it is. And they're not just hanging around. They're playing football and forcing these teams to do things that they don't normally do. I mean, the way Vanderbilt beat Kentucky, the way Vanderbilt beat Ball State. We all know about Alabama. I'm really not concerned about that anymore. But these last 2 games, when I talked to you about Kentucky, I was like, look, Charles, Kentucky's not winning that game. They're just not. They're scared because they're afraid to mess up. If Kentucky played a great game, they would have beat them. They would have beat them. Vanderbilt has this thing inside people's mind right now. It's hard. It's hard to beat Vanderbilt because they are playing. They're exposing weaknesses, and we've never seen this from a Vanderbilt team before. With that being said, I'm gonna go Texas because after that whipping that they took, Sarkisian is going to go, okay, now I know what our weaknesses are, because that's what they've been waiting on. They needed their weaknesses exposed, and it got exposed. Vanderbilt is going to try to expose it again. Sarkisian, on the other hand, is a great offensive coach. People forget this. He is a great offensive coach. He's going to have that offense fixed by next week, guaranteed. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to come in and do to Texas what they have done in the past 3 weeks. I'm gonna go Texas, but I do think Vanderbilt plays them tough. I really do. I'm gonna go Texas. I'm gonna go Texas 31-26.
31-26. All right. I agree. I think Texas will win. I do think the focus after the sound beatdown we caught from Georgia is going to wake us up and get us ready for this game, and we're going to want to send a message. It's funny that we're saying this about Vanderbilt, of course, but this is how good Vanderbilt has played this year. And I think Vanderbilt is like, now they're just playing sound football. They're not turning the ball over. They are taking care. Like, there's no mistakes. So it's one of those teams where you're going to have to beat them because they're not going to give you anything. Yeah. That's the style they are playing. And I think Texas they'll be ready for that. I think they're, like you had pointed out earlier, I think Texas, Steve Sarkisian is going to have them go back to basics. That's be solid about what we're doing. Let's just do our jobs. Let's not do too much. Let's run the stuff, and we will win. And I think we can win pretty solidly. You had 31-26.
Yeah.
So I think we can win by double-digit points. I think I'm gonna say something like 37-23 is what I'll go. Or no. 37-26. We'll go there. I think they'll win by 11 points.
So we both think that Vanderbilt's going to score 26 points.
I know that's crazy, ain't it? Yeah.
hey, a couple weeks ago, I went with the same exact score, just different team.
It's true. Well, shoot, Patrick, I'm just gonna go ahead and go into it, man. Let's jump into LSU and A&M.
That was gonna be my next one.
So yeah, it's a Saturday night in College Station. A&M in these last few weeks, since their quarterback came back, it's Connor McGowan. Is that his name? A&M's quarterback. Yeah, just so he's come back, and they have looked pretty different since he's been back. More explosive on offense. We mentioned LSU earlier. It looks like Brian Kelly's got them playing really well, and the defense for LSU is what is coming together at the right time. That linebacker they have, Will Weeks, all over the place. Yeah. The quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, he's playing some elite ball. Like that game. Now, what showed me something about Nussmeier is that game against Ole Miss. It was ugly. I mean, Ole Miss was putting a lot of pressure on him. It didn't look like he could make throws. He was missing throws. And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter and overtime, when he had to make those throws, he made them and was able to pull it out. And it looks like LSU has taken off since then. I think this game, Patrick, is going to be very good, very close.
Mm-hmm. This might be the game of the week.
Yeah, I think it will be. And
is this where game day is?
I don't know where game day is at this week. They might be there. I wouldn't be surprised if they are in College Station. But I don't know for sure.
Who wouldn't want to be in College Station for a night game like that?
And look, I'll go to a night game in College Station. Anyway,
be there. Yeah, what's 6:30 game? It'd be 5:30 there. No, it's be 6:30 there.
Yeah, 6:30 there. Yeah, that's their Saturday nighter.
Yeah. Woo! College Station at night. That's a hard place to play at night. Woo. This is gonna be a hard game. It's gonna be tough.
It is, but I'm gonna pick LSU because, I'll go here. It is Saturday night in College Station. It's not quite Saturday night in Baton Rouge, though. And so I think it's close. It is close. Like that atmosphere in College Station is gonna be electric. But I think LSU will pull this out. I think it will be a field goal game, maybe a 4-point game. And both defenses have been playing pretty well, too. I'm going 27-23. Yes. 27-23 final score. LSU will go into College Station and pull that game out.
Okay. Not really much to say about it. I mean, look, either way the case may be, whoever comes out is going to be on top of the SEC. Whoever comes out, this is it right here, because everybody else got one loss. Minus that Crimson Tide. We got two now. Hey, look, we didn't beat them, but somebody else did, and we ain't got to worry about them now. So I agree with you. That LSU team is just firing, bro. They are firing. I'm going to go LSU, but I'm going to have it a little closer. I'm going to go 28-27 LSU. Okay.
All right.
That game.
What's your last one?
All right. Everybody thinks I'm going to go where everybody thinks I'm going to go, but I'm not. I'm going to go SMU and Duke.
Okay.
This is going to be a good game right here. This is going to be a good game. I mean, if it was not for LSU, this might be one of those games that is just like, it could be a game of the week. And I know Duke ain't ranked, but man, they play well.
Playing good ball. They only have one loss.
One loss. And they're playing an SMU team who has one loss. This one could go either way. And I was debating on if I wanted to go this one because this was such a hard pick. But they are playing in North Carolina, and everything is pointing SMU. Everything. I mean, I can't go against it, man. I'm going SMU. I'm going SMU, and I think they handle Duke. I'm going to go SMU 30-17.
All right. Sounds good. And I don't have much to add, except I do agree with you on here. I think SMU is their offense is going to be a little bit too much for Duke to handle. What was your final score there?
30-17 SMU.
30-17. Yeah, so SMU's defense isn't that great either. I think it'll be a little bit more of a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like 44-30. I think
it can get like that.
So I don't think it'll be that high scoring. Not that high scoring. But
it could. With those offenses, it could.
You could. I'm gonna go SMU 41 to. I think Duke scores 2, so I think that'll be like 41 to 41-33.
Okay, that's a good score. It's a good score.
So, man, I mean, there's 2 directions I can go with this last game. I'm gonna go Missouri and Alabama.
I knew you were going to. That's what I was like. Everybody thinks I'm gonna go here, but I'm not.
This was the one that I was thinking about too, Patrick. Now we're gonna do Missouri and Alabama, but that Boise State UNLV game looks very enticing as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Oh man, because that one can give whoever wins that one. That's an inside track toward one of those group of 5 spots in the college football playoff.
Yep. Whoever wins that game, I honestly feel will be in the 12th spot. I really do feel.
I'm gonna go Mizzou and Alabama here. So Missouri, as you talked about with Auburn, they weren't looking that good, and they were also coming off of getting throttled at A&M. Alabama, we know they've been struggling. They haven't been right since that game where they beat Georgia, and they lost to Vanderbilt, of course, lost to Tennessee, almost lost to South Carolina. So now you got Missouri coming in. This is a 3:30 game, 3:30 Eastern game. I think Bama pulls this one out. It's going to be close, though. I mean, Missouri can come in there because Missouri needs a statement win, too. And They haven't quite gotten that one. My man Aaron over here, he said he thinks Mizzou wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Missouri won because Alabama does not look that strong. But with the game being in Tuscaloosa, I think Alabama pulls it out, and I think it will be kind of low scoring too. 27-21 is my final score with Bama. I think Jalen Milroe makes enough plays.
He just makes enough plays?
Like one more play.
All right. Here's my problem with Alabama. Milroe doesn't know he has more wide receivers than Ryan Williams. You know how many times he targeted him during that Tennessee game?
Lots.
Over 30 times. And he had 7 catches. Now, not all of them were Williams' fault. I mean, Milroe overthrew him like every single time. Here's what I say. It's in Tuscaloosa. I get that. But that was a hard loss, losing to Tennessee. And now Alabama can't beat anybody in Tennessee. They lost to Vandy. They lost to Tennessee. I'm going Mizzou, dude. I'm going Mizzou because I think Mizzou makes one more play than Alabama does. And this is the reason why, is because Milroe doesn't know he has other wide receivers. They're not using their run game at all. And Milroe can't make those plays. He can't continuously make those plays. Georgia exposed them in the second half of that game. Yes, we lost. Absolutely, we lost. But in the long run, we put stock in other teams to beat them. They're taking their third loss this weekend. Mizzou, I'm going to go 27-21.
Oh, you're going to reverse the score?
Yep. Reverse the score.
You know what's funny about that? Your point with Ryan Williams, and it's a valid point. I mean, it's true. He threw to Ryan Williams a lot. Mm-hmm. The week before, he didn't throw to Ryan Williams that much. So it's almost like they heard what was being said. You got to get Ryan Williams the ball. You got to get Ryan Williams the ball. And he's like, yeah. Milroe said, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. He's my roommate. So I'm going to throw it to him 100 times. How many plays did they run? Like 90?
Yeah.
And he threw it to him over 30 times? No. And he couldn't base off any of his big plays because, dude, Tennessee locked him down. He ain't going to make those easy plays like he did against Georgia. He put himself on the map with Georgia, and everybody else was like, whoa. Nice.
Tennessee has a good defense, man.
Tennessee does have a good defense.
Really,
I can't wait to play them. I can't wait to smash them. They're coming to Athens.
So Patrick, before we move on to the NFL, Aaron asked a question about what we think about Oregon being in the top 3. Oregon deserves to be.
Oh, definitely. They deserve to be 1 right now.
And they're number 1 right now. Oregon deserves to be number 1 right now.
Oh, absolutely. Georgia had that big win over Texas, but Oregon beat Ohio State. And that was God, go watch my shorty about Dan Lanning. Genius play.
A sneaky win that Oregon has is over Boise State. Remember, Boise State could be that team that gets that group of 5 spot, or
UNLV first.
Yeah, exactly. Or in that large bid to this 12-team playoff. Oregon deserves it.
Boy, let me tell you, every week that win over Boise State looks even better and better and better. And then the fact that they beat Ohio State every week, that win's going to look better and better and better. No, Oregon is the truth right now, man. I'll give them that. They deserve to be number 1. And unless a team, I think it's going to take a team like Georgia, Tennessee, LSU. I think it's going to take a team like that to knock them off. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say if they played Ohio State again, they would win. What I'm saying is if you give Oregon and Ohio State 10 games, I will almost bet you it'll go 50-50. Oregon is that good. I think they're great, and they play the ball well. And Dan Lanning is killing it, dude. I was like, he's a phenomenal coach. So No, they deserve to be number one. They're good.
So, all right, Aaron, thanks for that question. And so, Patrick, we got a few minutes left. Let's jump into the NFL. And
dude, college football always takes us way too long, doesn't it?
Hey, man, we had some questions to answer this time too. So we appreciate that feedback. And
it's going to take too long anyway.
So we'll take as long as as necessary to answer the questions. Absolutely. So So what caught your eye in the NFL last week?
Let me check these games real quick. There was a couple of them that I saw. How about Lamar Jackson and how good he's looking right now? That dude is all over the place, and I hated to see what happened in Tampa, man. Did you see that crap?
I mean, both receivers went out, and the Chris Godwin injury was
I watched that one time. I teared up and turned it off. I was like, no, never again.
Yeah, it was.
I won't watch that again. That was disgusting. But that Baltimore team is on fire. Man, give Baltimore 1 inch and they would have beat Kansas City.
I know, just a toe.
1 inch. Give them 1 inch and they would have. They're looking good. That Arizona win over the Chargers, that was good. Sorry about your 49ers. They just can't finish either.
No, and the Chiefs are just that team. Now, so I saw Aaron's comment here. He said it'll be the NFC North champ versus Baltimore in the Super Bowl. So right now in the NFC North, that looks like that will be Detroit. And he's a Cardinals fan too. I like it. So nice for shouting them out with the Cardinals win.
It was a good win.
It was at the last second.
They needed it.
Absolutely. And I think so that NFC North, I mean, you got Detroit, Minnesota. That Lions-Vikings game was really, really good down to the wire, and Detroit pulled it out. Green Bay is 5-2 after a win over the Texans. And then you have Chicago, who's also 4-2. I mean, that is a really good matchup to look at. I just don't know with Baltimore. Again, who can you trust to beat the Chiefs? Like, that is the thing that we have to ask ourselves.
Well, are you beating just the Chiefs? Or are you beating the refs too?
Stop.
You got to club the refs.
Patrick, stop, dude.
Everybody's pulling, the Chiefs go, I know see you.
Patrick,
I know
see you. Stop. You know what? But the Chiefs just make the plays when they have to have them. And it's always something. Like even Baltimore. So look, Aaron pointed out Baltimore. Even in the AFC Championship game last year, you got Say Flowers who's going into the end zone. And then here comes the DB, punch the ball out at the 1 yard line, and it's a touchback. It's plays like that. Just these situational, when they have to have a play.
It just happens.
Yeah, either
or
Holmes is going to make something happen. I know, stop it with the refs.
or even worse, here's what's hit: or the team shoots themselves in the foot.
That's
big
true.
Play down the field, and all of a sudden, holding.
Throw a red zone pick, which is what happened.
Or a red zone pick, or something like that. I do feel there is a few teams that can beat the Chiefs. I do feel Baltimore can do it.
They're right to take it. You remember what you say about
they're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good. Look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes will ever be. Look at what he's doing this year. He just can't get a dang defensive stop. So
Patrick Mahomes is pretty good, though.
But Joe Burrow is better. That's what I'm saying. Joe Burrow is better.
Patrick Mahomes has 2 MVPs too, though. Patrick.
Well,
Joe Burrow, as good as Joe Burrow.
Patrick Mahomes has a helmet that floats on his head, and I don't like it. He looks dumb.
Stop. Look, are you hating on his hair?
I'm always hating on his hair. If he has it, I don't.
So let me see. No, Aaron, look, and I don't know if you had watched the show in previous months, But man, we were the first to say Derrick Henry coming to the Baltimore Ravens was an awesome move. Like, we loved that move.
That was the best move in all of NFL in the past 4 years.
I thought that was the best. Yeah, best move all free agency. Yes.
Yeah. In the past 4 or 5 years, best move.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot, because Falcons made a lot of good moves up until they took Kirk Cousins. And then look what he did. I get it, dude, week to week.
Patrick, what are we looking forward to? Because we're not going to get on a Kirk Cousins rant tonight. What are we doing?
Can you believe that we got throttled? We got throttled by Seattle.
What? Patrick?
Kirk Cousins sucks. I don't care how many. You know what? I was singing his praises last week. Hell with Kirk Cousins.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, I will be looking forward to.
Before you go, Patrick, appreciate the comment there, Aaron. So this is the first time you're catching us, man. Hey, appreciate it, man. We hope you are enjoying the show, and we hope that you continue to see us. So
yeah, I've been talking to Charles, and he won't do a Discord, but I have been telling him. But we do have all kinds of cool stuff that you could go into. So check us out on all the social medias, and we are on podcast. So but we greatly appreciate your interaction, man. We love interacting with the viewers.
Yes, sir.
All right. What am I looking forward to? Well, Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see the best Tampa Bay moving forward. They have no wide receivers whatsoever. But, yeah, it's going to be rough. That's going to be rough for Tampa Bay. This is Kirk Cousins' get right game. He better get right. That's all I'm saying. 4-3. Bull crap. We should be 5-2. We should be 7-0.
What's next? No rants, Patrick. No
I'm
rants.
trying my best not to.
No rants. Let's go.
I think the Indianapolis and Houston game is going to be good. That one's going to be really good. How about where is it at? Dallas and San Francisco. That would be my 3 games of watching this weekend.
You know what? I don't have much to add on that. I agree with you on all 3 of those games. I think also on top of that, the Bears and Commanders could be pretty good, and see how the Bears do coming off of the bye week. Their record, like I said, they're 4-2, but they haven't beaten the best competition there. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Rams. Yeah, they beat the Rams, and they beat the Titans and the Jags. So
this is going to be good. We'll find out what they're made of.
Yes, both teams actually. Yeah.
And we're hoping, that is hoping that Jaden Daniels is going to be playing. I know he got hurt with
he had a rib injury.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't know if he'll even be playing, because, dude, there is so much hype in Washington for this guy. So I could see them setting him down and not letting him play, because, to be honest with you, this is the future of Washington, and Washington does not need to put that at risk. So I could see him setting and not playing at all. I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see him put Williams in his place.
And I can tell you, Patrick, from being up here, there's some excitement now with this team, with this Commanders team.
Yeah.
It's palpable.
Yeah.
So let's see. He said, yeah. Yeah, that is true, Aaron. They haven't played anybody. The Bears have not played anybody in the division yet. So they still got to see.
How are they this far not playing anybody in the division?
It's kind of weird with the schedule, because it's the same thing.
Because Caleb Williams is like, please don't put anybody in there.
Well, it's the same thing for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh hasn't played any division games either. And so they're backloaded with nothing but AFC North games. And I guess it's the same thing with the Bears. Haven't played the Packers yet, haven't played the Lions yet, haven't played the Vikings yet. So we'll find out a lot about the Bears.
Yes, there's 6 losses.
Yeah. I can see them catching a loss.
And Pittsburgh's going with Russell Williams.
Oh, Russell Wilson.
Or Wilson. Why did I say
Russell Williams?
Russell Williams? It's because he's not important. That's why. Who cares?
He was probably still upset about the Falcons. So
yeah, Kirk Cousins, dude.
So my man Aaron's like Russell Williams.
Yeah, I got called out. Russell Williams. I don't even know. I don't even know who. See, dude, no, because nobody cares. Nobody cares about it.
Patrick, all right. So we got a couple more topics before we get on now. He said, "Let's go Steelers." Let's talk about the World Series.
That was good.
Let's talk about the World Series, man. So we have our matchup that starts Friday evening between the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
God, did we hit that wrong when we dude? I was like, where the hell did the Guardians go? I was like, they just decided not to play anymore.
You know what? The Yankees played some good ball. Now, of course, there's still your classic home run strikeout team. But in Game 4 of that series, they actually manufactured a couple of runs to give them an 8-6 victory and set them up for the Game 5 Juan Soto long. But this is your classic heavyweight matchup here in Major League Baseball. Two of your most storied franchises there in the two largest media markets. So this is a marketing dream. This is a Fox Sports dream. This is
everybody's dream except for mine.
Yeah, right. And so I guess just looking at the matchup. So I think this, Patrick, I'll go ahead. I think the Dodgers will win in 7. Obviously, Dave Roberts cannot F up the pitching rotation, which there's always a chance he might. Mm-hmm. But
he did a really good job throughout the series, though.
And Aaron is right. This is the MLB equivalent of Steelers versus Cowboys. Yep, two of your most storied franchises in the sport, and it's the same thing.
I think he misspelled the Steelers.
Huh?
I think he misspelled the Steelers.
No, he probably did it to mess with you. So,
I meant it that way. He should have spelled it back the other way.
His buddy Russell Williams.
Brian, you're never going to let that down either. Next week.
Never.
How's Russell Williams doing?
So,
I don't know who that guy is.
But I do have the Dodgers in 7 games. I think I do think the pitching that the Dodgers have will come together. I think Dave Roberts won't mess it up enough for them to lose, although that is a possibility. And I just think the Dodgers can score in more ways. They can manufacture runs. They can use the single. They can use the double. They can do the sacrifice bunt, the sacrifice fly. And the Yankees are still primarily relying on the home run. So because of all those things, I think the Yankees, they'll get 2 or 3. And I guess I'm saying they'll get 3 if I got the Dodgers in 7. But yeah, I think the Dodgers will win this World Series.
I agree with you. All the things that you said, here's the deal, is that the Dodgers are willing to do it. They're willing to lay down the bunts if they need to. They're willing to go opposite field if needed to manufacture runs. They're willing to manufacture runs. They're not relying on the home run ball. And New York's the most struck out team in all of MLB. They also hit the most home runs, but it's
feast or famine. Like that's your feast or famine.
I agree with you, but I don't think the Yankees get that many. I'm gonna go Dodgers in 6.
Okay.
And honestly, to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if Dodgers win in 5, because I do feel that team, as long as they give the pitchers the opportunity to pitch, Roberts and the Dodgers will be fine. So I'm gonna go Dodgers in 6.
Well, all right, man. I mean, so before we get on now, let's give a quick thought to the NBA because their season starts today. And then we got to say something about the NHL coming forward too, because the NHL started their season already. But with the NBA, yeah, okay. And so with the NBA, you got the Boston Celtics. They did the ring ceremony tonight, hung the banner, and last I checked it, they were kind of wiping out the New York Knicks.
They hung the banner and then hung 140 on the Knicks.
So there you go.
What else could be said about the Celtics? Except for they're a huge favorite to win the finals and back-to-back.
And so, the Celtics, I'm with you. I don't see anything stopping them from a repeat. I don't see anybody in the East getting in their way. The Western Conference, a little bit deeper, more teams that could potentially come out in the finals. I love what the Dallas Mavericks did in getting Klay Thompson to join Luka and Kyrie. We'll see what Memphis does. Memphis is interesting to me because if they can stay healthy with Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, and they got somebody else there. No, my bad. I was thinking of Russell Westbrook. Westbrook actually went to the Denver Nuggets. But let's see what Aaron says here. He said Jason Tatum
Nuggets downgraded.
They got the core. They still have the core.
But they downgraded by putting Westbrook there.
Hopefully they just bring him up.
Remember when we used to call him Mr. 50-50? He would shoot up a shot, miss, get a rebound, and put his own layup up.
Let me see. Aaron left a couple more comments here. So he said, Jason Tatum is the embodiment of cringe. Just because Kobe was your legend doesn't mean you got to redo everything he did. He's like the LeBron can't believe this is my life selfie. So
every comment, I'm hearing more and more. Every comment, I like it more and more. That's a good one.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and I've heard that about Jason Tatum. Like he can.
You said you mean Russell. Russell.
Yeah, Russell. Yep.
That's good.
Russell.
I like it. I like you, Aaron. I like you. You need to show up.
Russell Westbrook. You know, all kinds of stuff is coming through. But yeah. Jason Tatum is good enough to where he doesn't have to try to recreate everything. He can do his own thing. He's good enough now, and I think as he goes forward, then he'll do his own thing. I think just kind of caught himself in a moment where he had looked at some of the historical things that happened and tried to recreate the moments. So. I don't have a huge issue with it, but I can see where someone would be like, dude, just be Jason Tatum. I can understand.
He don't play for the
There's a lot of players who want to be like Kobe because Kobe was their idol.
Kobe was a lot of people's idol. But he doesn't play for the Hawks, so you know how we ain't
Patrick, no rants about Atlanta sports teams.
Dude, I can rant about Atlanta sports team all day long. Just give me.
I know.
This 45 minutes to an hour.
No, 5 minutes to an hour? That's a big gap. He said 5 minutes to an hour.
Just give me. I can rant about anything, especially Atlanta sports. And then the college, and then Bulldogs, Carson Beck. I mean, dude, I can rant all day. Bobo. Give me 24 hours. You'll be tired of hearing about Georgia sports.
So, in the West, also the Spurs with Victor Wembanyama. I don't see them competing for a championship this year, but Wembanyama is a beast, and he's gonna have the Spurs competing before you know it. I mean, he's that good. 7'5" dude who can handle the ball and shoot and dominate inside. My goodness. Well, man, I appreciate it, Aaron. You have a good night as well. And glad you found the stream too.
Tuesday, 7:30.
Yep. Tuesday evenings at 7:30 or 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Go ahead and catch us. And then since he's subscribed, he'll see the alerts. He got it. And so But I mean, we'll talk more, of course, about the NBA as the season goes along. But I'm with you, Patrick. I mean, Boston looks strong. I don't see any reason why they can't repeat. But the crazy thing about the champions over the past few years is they can't get past the second round. It was the same thing with the Denver Nuggets last year. And then Golden State, Golden State didn't get past the second round either. They lost to the Lakers. So, I mean, it looks on paper like Boston should be back at least to the finals, because the Eastern Conference, I mean, I don't see anybody. I mean, Philly got Paul George. They're disqualified right there.
Yeah. I ain't got anybody out of the East. And you mentioned all the teams in the West. It seems pretty cut and dry in the NBA this year. And, just because LeBron James' son plays for LA, that disqualifies them automatically because that kid ain't good.
He'll be in the D League or G League.
Yeah. Quickly, and then we won't have to worry about him anymore. And then LeBron James will retire, and God.
So, Patrick, what is coming up for Bro Epic?
Well, we started our. I started posting the bucket golf challenge, so that's being released over the next couple of weeks. We're starting a Pop Darts challenge that's going to be coming up, and one day I will get the football episode done. We're just waiting for some kids to mesh schedules, but we'll see. So I would say look forward to a lot of shorts. We have some really cool shorts coming out that is going to it's going to be pretty cool. And then also check out Bro Epic, because we will be releasing a giveaway here in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so yeah, absolutely. Be on the lookout for giveaways.
Heck yeah!
My goodness,
it's going to be pretty nice giveaway too.
So yeah, everybody look out for that from Bro Epic. And of course, with this product, BOFA Sports, you know where we're at now. I mean, we're on the social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're streaming live on, and we're on the podcast. So anywhere you can catch your podcast at, everywhere you listen, we are there. So check it out: YouTube Music, Apple, Spotify, wherever, we are there. So with that concludes this edition of the BOFA Sports Webcast. That's what we are breathing on for tonight. Y'all make sure y'all visit the Make sure y'all visit the Make sure you visit the BOFA Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the BOFA Sports Facebook page. So great show. Thanks, James and Aaron, for coming in, interacting with us, asking us questions. And we encourage anybody else who is able to catch this stream, who's able to watch it whenever it's posted on the other social medias, to interact with us, leave your comments, and we will get back to you, man. We love interaction, and we always encourage comments so we can have the back and forth, have the dialogue. It's all good at the end of the day. So with that, y'all take care, enjoy these games, and we will talk to you next week.